This is a couple of short little snippets that I'll incorporate into my next daily video. It's the 11th of February. I'm not doing a full video today because I'm trying to rest my back. So I'm not laying on the ground. I'm not contorting myself, just taking it easy, standing up. But there are a couple things that I'm able to do that are not stressful on the body, such as looking at my AM/FM radio here. This is one I bought more recently. I think it was on Facebook Marketplace. Might have been eBay, but I think it's Facebook Marketplace. And this is actually a pretty nice unit. Everything moves freely. I like it. Compare this to this other one that I've had since last summer that I bought from a junkyard somewhere online. It's in very bad condition, all rusty. All the buttons are frozen. They're in bad condition. So that's going to be a part stoner. My suspicion is that the only thing wrong with this radio, it's probably not working right now. I bet you that nylon gear that's controlled by this AM/FM push button is probably split, and it's between the two bands. And when that happens, you don't get any output from AM or FM. So I'm about to take the cover off here to investigate that little gear. And if that's what's wrong with it, then I'll be buying a replacement. I've seen them on eBay. Not real cheap, but they're made out of stainless steel. The replacements from the remnants of Baker's Auto. The other thing I tried to do was polish this fascia plate up a bit. You should recognize it from this air conditioning and radio and fuel gauge. This goes on the dash. This had been ruined because the windows on the car that I bought had been down for an extended period of time, like at least a year or more. So this got really corroded. I did my best to try and clean it up, but the pitting is so bad, it's just not recoverable. So I'll be eventually looking for a spare on that. Maybe I'll ask John Lyman again at Stinkin' Lincoln. I'm sure he's got one. I just don't know how much they cost. I guess I can ask and find out. But I also cleaned up my gas tube, the filler tube for my gas tank on my rotary wire brush over there. Just easy things to do today. Also got word that I should be getting my new electric choke tomorrow, and also the spring hardware kit for the rear drum brakes that seems to have gotten back on track. So anyway, right now I'm just going to remove all these top little nuts. Oh, they're even smaller than quarter inch. But anyway, I'll get that top off and show you what it looks like inside. All right, turns out they are quarter-inch little bolts. I just had the wrong socket on my handle. So here, we're taking the cover off. Look at how old-fashioned this is. Isn't that beautiful? No integrated circuits. Well, I guess that kind of is on a macro scale, if you will, but it's just beautifully old-fashioned. I forgot that it's actually underneath here, the little gear I'm looking for. Let me zoom in on it here a little bit. I think you can see it. It's right, let me point to it with something. Right here on the edge, on the end of this handle thing. There's a little nylon gear, and those tend to split or with age. And then when you press the button, nothing happens. So I'm pressing the button right now, and you can see that it's not turning. So I'm going to see about getting that gear off so I can get a closer look at it. So it appears this little gear has already been replaced. That appears to be brass as far as I can tell. It looks like it's brass, which means it's been replaced. So the problem I'm having is that little lever that's supposed to press against it that's connected to the button is not engaging it too well. It seems to be sticking. So I've been spraying some WD-40 in there trying to lubricate things up. I guess I'm not doing a good, there we go. We're just focused on that little lever that's on the side down there that actuates it. So that's where I'm working. Let me zoom this back out. So we'll see how I do. I think what I'm going to do is just make a completely separate video that's just about this AM/FM radio work here. Interestingly, the colors are different, which I guess just means they were made in different years. They only made this particular design for 2 years, 66 and 67. I'm assuming the green is 67 and this is 66. I really don't know. I can probably find numbers to verify that later. But I took the cover off here just to look at the gear on this one. This one's still nylon underneath. I know it's hard to see it, but this one's nylon. I was just checking to see if it was the same size, which it appears to be. This one's brass. It's been replaced in the past. So I just need to figure out why that little push lever is not staying engaged and popping back out. It's like it should be spring loaded, but it's not. When you push the button here, it just stays in. instead of coming back out. So I've got to probably have to take the front cover off and all that to dig into this a little deeper. So that was just to get started on this, but I think that's it for now. We'll continue this particular effort later. This is a continuation of the AM/FM radio video that I've been starting a couple days ago. It is the, I don't even know what day it is. I probably should check to see what day it is. All right, I'm back in the front of my car inside. I'm having a lot of trouble with this button. It doesn't want to pop back out. I don't know where it's binding. It almost seems like it's dragging on that little gear down there somehow. I've sprayed the crap out of it with WD-40, every moving part I can find, including that little round switch itself. So what I've decided to do is I don't want to spend forever on this. I just want to see if this radio even works. And if I can get it working on the FM band, I'll just leave it on the FM band and I won't try to switch it, because if I do, I might not be able to switch it back. So, I mean, I can never see myself using AM radio in this car. So I'm just going to plug it all in right now, see if I can get it to work at all. And I took the speaker out of the dash panel too, so I could plug it in. There's supposed to be a speaker in the rear. I don't even know if it works. So I'm just going to hook all this up, turn it on, and see what happens. Well, I've never had a radio that's done this before. As soon as I plugged in the antenna lead over there for the electric antenna, it started running, and the buttons aren't pressed in. I don't know what's wrong with them. If I leave it alone, it starts smoking. So there's obviously a short in the circuit for the antennas, which that's blowing me away. I have no idea what that's about. So I haven't even gotten to the point where I can test the radio itself, since the antenna function on this radio is not correct. I'm not sure what's going on. So I gotta look at this a little closer, see if I can figure it out. So I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a little bit of music coming out of the rear speaker on the FM dial. The front speaker apparently is dead. Ain't nothing coming out of that. And so it's actually not in very good shape. The antenna switch is shorted out. I had to manually raise it with a wire. It blew the fuse earlier, so I got the antenna extended. But yeah, this radio's in apparently pretty bad shape. So I don't know if I'm going to spend too much more time messing with it or not. We'll see. All right, I'm going to wrap up this little AM/FM video, because I'm obviously not going to get too far getting my AM/FM radio working, and that's not a high priority for me right now. So I'm just going to stick the old AM radio back in the dash, because it works. As you know, it's not much, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. And I'll just put the AM/FM radios on the shelf and save those for some future project. So I'm just wrapping that up for now.